What's up, everybody? Welcome to the J and K show. I'm your man, J Rob, and I got my man, brother from another brother, brother from another brother mother. My man KO. What up, bro?
Yo.
I'm starting off on a bad note already.
Yeah, I'm glad you corrected that. Yeah, I don't know what brother from another brother. Yeah, I don't know same-sex marriage. Or I don't know what vibe you was going with.
I am fucking up all over the place.
It's all right, man.
But listen, people, I got to give my man K some credit right here. Oh. He should have corrected me on air last week, but he didn't. He called me out. And he says, why are you melancholy? And I said, I'm not melancholy. Little did I know, I done messed up because I was. So I'm going to say it right now. And I don't usually do this, everybody. I'm going to apologize to my brother from another mother, not brother, KO. Will you accept my apology, KO?
Of course, man, I accept your apology. So I'm a little bit shocked, to say the least.
Yeah, really? Why?
I don't know. Of all of the years that we've known each other, I'm not sure I've ever heheard your apology.
Don't listen to him. That is not true.
I have no recollection of that.
Wait.
And two,
I'm not usually wrong. I'm just saying.
And the other thing is,
okay,
if we're going to use airtime, like podcast time, to talk about the corrections,
yes.
We're going to use a whole lot of space because you screw up on a lot of topics,
no.
Man.
Now he's going off the rail. I might have to take that apology, my brother.
Nah, listen, no apology necessary, man. You're all good, brother.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
No doubt.
I appreciate you. Yeah. All right, so we are going to jump into some hot topics and stories of the week as we always do, and I want to kick things off with the RNC. All right. The Republican National Convention, for those of you who don't know. Yo, it was crazy, right? He had the Republican National Convention this past week. Okay, it was pretty funny, to say the least, right? Because we all know that there was the assassination attempt on his life last weekend, right? And everybody was saying that this speech was going to be more unifying, right? That he was probably going to have this whole change of life and this whole different way of seeing things, and he was going to be more of a mellow Donald Trump, right? And they said, so his whole campaign said, oh yeah, it's going to be a more unifying speech. No, because I didn't see that anywhere from watching that speech. I'm going to give Donald Trump credit. He started the speech great, okay? He did. I got to give him credit. He started the speech great. He gave a tribute to the man who lost his life. He was a firefighter, and it was really nice that he did that. And he started off the first maybe 10, 15 minutes of the speech on this kind of more nicer, sweeter, kinder, gentler Donald Trump. But it didn't take long for him to revert back. First of all, the whole convention was crazy. They had a lot of people out there. I mean, listen, apparently it went pretty good. They had Amber Rose out there calling her a rapper and an influencer. These people don't even know who Amber Rose is. So everybody on social media is laughing about that. Ivanka and Jared Kushner finally showed up the last day of the Republican National Convention, as well as Melania, which we haven't seen her nowhere because she don't want nothing to do with this man. It's quite obvious. Everybody can see it written all over her face, which I don't even know why she showed up in the first place. But anyway, did the speech. He was a nicer, kinder, gentler Donald Trump at the beginning. Then he went on his tyrant, as we know Donald Trump does, right? Because that's what he's best at. He went back and was nothing unifying for the rest of his speech. First of all, it was an hour and 32, 33 minutes. It was crazy. It was the longest speech in National Convention history. Longest. Boring as all holy hell, right? Everybody said it, and it didn't make any sense to me. He went out there, went back onto his crazy ways, talking about crazy Pelosi, the China virus, talking about the election being rigged again. So he went right back to where he went and how he knows how to do the best. Now, so my question to you is, after all this time, right? I have a couple questions for you, right? But after all this time, do you think that, well, it's only been a week since the assassination attempt, do you think that that attempt should have changed Donald Trump and made him be more of a unifying presidential, candidate? I mean, he's the nominee right now, the Republican nominee. Do you think that should have changed his way and made him be more unifying and give that unifying speech and bring everyone together? Or should he continue to do what he's been doing and, being so divisive with the people, calling names, continue to do what he's always done, like Crazy Pelosi, the China virus, calling the election rigged and fraud? Like, what do you think? How do you think he did?
Wow. So so first let me say.
So tons of questions.
First, let me say, I think you did a great job of recapping. So kudos.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So kudos to you for that. In terms of Donald John, listen, did the assassination attempt change him? Probably. I suspect that you can't go through that near life death without it affecting you. I'm just thinking that it affected him personally. In terms of politically, doesn't matter. He doesn't need to reflect any change, any unifying speeches or anything. Look, the Democrats are imploding. All of the infighting. Biden is trending down. Donald could have showed up with the Kango on backwards, speaking in Pig Latin, and he would still win this thing. I'm at the point where I think it's fair to say I would be shocked if he didn't win. So I'm less caught up on the speech that he gave. Whether it was unifying, not unifying, doesn't matter, man. Like it's a layup at this point. We're only a couple of months away. Democrats are talking about putting someone else in there, circumventing what the people, the Democrats, have identified Biden as their choice. The notion that, big bosses in the back room want to remove Biden and put someone else there, which would be against the will of the people, is mind-blowing. So you see all of this, and if you're Donald Trump, you're like, I can go up there and start juggling like empty beer bottles, and we're going to still win this thing. So I'm less concerned about that. But I do think there's probably, a bit of a change or something that happened with him. I don't know how you can go through that without a change. Mm-hmm. And the other thing I would say about this kinder, gentler, and why didn't he do that? Listen, that's one option. The other option is the 50 Cent playbook, right? Mm-hmm. Shoot me, right? Like I'm not holding my tongue back after that, right? Okay. I don't need to be kinder or gentler.
Right.
That happens. I'm gonna speak on everyone. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna create battles. I'm gonna go on Twitter. Like all of the stuff that he was doing before being like Donald. Right. Maybe he turns it up. Plus it's a second term. He's not positioning to win it again. It's all about legacy. Okay. I think his VP selection, Vance, JD Vance, total legacy. Mm-hmm. That's a legacy pick. He doesn't need like a Mike Pence to help him in a certain region or a certain demographic. Like the angelic folks. Right. He doesn't need anything like that anymore. He went and got someone who's young, who kind of holds that mega mantle. Right. 39 going on 40. Mm-hmm. So even after he leaves, this person has a shot to maybe win again and cement his legacy. He's moving as a person that pretty much knows that it's already done. Mm-hmm. And so I think the RNC, as RNC goes, or should I say as conventions go, I disagree with you also in the sense that I don't think it was that bad. I think it's all...
The convention itself was bad.
No, I don't think so.
Sorry, excuse me, messed up. The convention itself was actually good. And he said to himself, he didn't want to be the worst one at the convention. And everyone has said that he was actually the worst part of the whole convention, which is sad. I think JD Vance, like you said, I think he did an amazing job. Very charismatic, great speech. He's young. He's going to be leading the party after Donald Trump. I can definitely see that. He didn't show his dark side because he has a dark side. He's very smart. But I think the convention itself, it was very good. But I think he was the worst part of the whole convention, which is crazy.
I mean, it's debatable. I don't know if he was the worst part.
Definitely gave the worst speech.
I don't know. I watched a lot of it, if not in real time. Mm-hmm. We taped some of the stuff and I looked at it a bit later. A lot of people went up there and gave speeches. I don't know. If you quizzed me and said, well, who had a worse speech, I'd have to kind of pause and think about it for a moment. But just on initial
feeling, who needed to give the best speech? That's the question.
Who needed to
give the best speech?
Who needed to give the best speech was probably Vance. Just because, he was on a short list of possible VPs. A lot of folks don't know him. He's a first-term senator. Okay. No one knows who the heck this guy is, right? Kind of he's a poor kid from Ohio that did well, went to law school, Yale, so forth and so on. But it was still a lot of, hey, who is this guy? So I think he did that. I think he did a great job with that. From that, like you said,
he did.
Yeah, I think the a speech for Donald Trump isn't going to make or break him. Everyone knows who Donald is. I don't think one speech or one bad outing is all of a sudden going to sway people into saying, oh my God, no good. I'm not going to support him because of this speech. I think we all know who he is. We all know his brand. We all know what we're signing up for or what we don't want to sign up for with him. So I don't think it would have been that one way or the other. I think that the convention was there to illustrate and showcase, to galvanize. And I think it did all three of those things.
Let me ask you this. We were speaking about J.D. Vance, gave a great speech. He brought his beautiful wife up, Ursha, and she's Indian. He brought her up. She actually introduced him. A brilliant woman, smart, beautiful. And it's great how she was so proud of J.D. and she introduced her man. And you saw the love. They hugged, they kissed. Like you said, J.D. spoke about his mother, who was on drugs, and she's 10 years clean right now. So that was great to hear. And it was great to see a wife come out there and support her man, the VP nominee, right? Now, in contrast, where the hell was Melania? Okay, she comes the last day, right? Why wasn't Melania up there introducing her husband, Donald Trump, just like Ursha did for J.D. Vance? How embarrassing. How damaging. Maybe not damaging. Maybe that's the wrong word I'm using. But do you think that was a problem? That Melania didn't do what every other wife, I think, in history has done and been by the side of their man at the biggest moment in their life? How telling do you think that is, showing how dysfunctional their marriage, if that's what you want to call it, is today? How horrible do you think that whole scenario played out? How do you think it was?
I don't think it was dysfunction. I don't think it was an example of dysfunction. I don't think it was embarrassing or anything like that. If you think back to his first term, she made it really clear. She made it abundantly clear that she wanted no part of it. She goes, listen, I just want to raise our son, right? She doesn't want that life.
He wasn't even there that night.
Right.
Barron was nowhere around.
But that was her focus. That's what she said she wanted to focus on. She just wanted to be a mom and be a good mother to her son, to their son.
Okay.
And that was it. So again, I think the part of it that it feels like you're missing, and this also goes back to the speech part, is we know this. This isn't new. It doesn't mean anything. Everyone knows his wife hates that limelight. She doesn't want the whole politics.
Hates the limelight or hates him?
Hates the limelight. Look, listen, I don't know about whether she hates him or not. I think that's pretty damning to say. So who knows? I know that she's there. She's with him. They're married. They've been married. They're together. So for all those folks talking about this married couple, they are still together. So that must mean something, because
what's a business
in this current time,
right?
A lot of folks, right, are separating. He's been, for as long as we've known him, he's been rich, and he's had divorces before, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a business decision for her to stay there. She very well may like and enjoy being in her marriage, but just not. She doesn't want to be a first lady. So to that point,
come on, bro. Let's keep it real. Listen. Yeah, okay. You can always say we don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm not hiding behind that. I'll stand on it. I'll speak on it. I'm saying we don't know specifically, but if I read the tea leaves, I would say
she ain't happy.
No, I wouldn't say that.
You don't think, again, I know you don't know, but you don't think with the whole Stormy Daniels and all this other hush money stuff and all these other things he's been going, you would kind of think she's kind of happy in that marriage? I mean, I guess I know you don't know.
Right. So I would say this. I think, again, at the time that they got married, mm-hmm. and for as long as they've been together, I'm going to say that she knew who she married.
Oh, so she should have expected this, you're saying?
I don't know if expected, but I don't know if expected is exactly the right word, but yeah, I wouldn't run from that word either. Like, I don't know if you're shocked and clutch my pearls because he slept with a porn star. Like, he has touted his prowess, right, mm-hmm. in the past of how many women he's been with.
Okay.
Right. This is a a powerful, famous individual. So there's some there's some personal dating conquers. I'm suspect that comes with, right?
Okay.
In that space. So it happens. I think there's a lot of nothing to see here. She wasn't super present. That's fine.
Why did she show up? Do you think that it even made sense for her to show up? And why?
Well, one, because now I'll go back to the reason why you try to douse water in the first place, which is he is running for president.
Okay.
It is her family, right? That's her husband, the father of her child. Those are her stepchildren as well. So it's a family moment. She didn't have to be there for the other days. I think you were wrong also because Jared and his daughter, I forget Jared's wife,
Ivanka.
Which is Ivanka. Mm-hmm. They were there the day JD announced.
Oh, they were there.
Right.
Okay.
Yep, they came there that day as well too. So no big deal. No big deal. I'm not poking holes at it
mm-hmm.
as much as you are. I just don't feel like it was like it's an RNC, man. It's there's nothing there. It's fluff, man.
You see that Ivanka and Jared and Melania, they've pulled themselves away from him for so long, even obviously before this convention. Ivanka and Jared, they both had positions, within the White House.
So why do you say they pulled?
I haven't seen them anywhere around, or especially when all of them were being in court. Ivanka and the two boys, Eric and Don Jr., stuff like that.
What I recall, Jared was in a pickle, was in some nonsense. Mm-hmm. Him, his father, right. Like there was a lot going on there. Mm-hmm. He never got clearance.
Okay,
so he never got cleared for clearance. So I don't know if he was so much like he left on his own as much as I think there was just an evolution. Bannon left. Like there was just a lot of turnover mm-hmm. in the White House. He could have very well said, "Hey, listen, you're part of this family. I appreciate the support, but step aside."
I just hate when I see like fraudulent people. It's just a fraud. It's like a show. And I know this is it's politics, but it's more than politics. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. It's a show. They're just putting on a show. They're going up there to be behind their father, their husband, and it's just crap. Yeah, I mean, that's what I say. I mean, listen, I understand what you're saying. You got to be there for your family. But my whole thing is if you don't want to show up, just don't show up. There was no reason for Melania to be there.
But
I know it's her decision.
Yeah, but I don't get the feeling that she went there kicking and screaming. Like, it's so funny. You and I saw the same thing and walked away mm-hmm. feeling totally different.
Did you see her face? You saw her face?
Yeah, but she's got a bitch resting face always, right?
Yeah.
Like
mm-hmm.
whenever you seen her, she ain't doing cereal commercials, man, ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just what it is. She could not be bothered with any of it. It's the way she comes across.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know maybe that's her real feeling. Maybe that's just like her resting face.
Her real feeling is that Barron wasn't there. Her son. That's her real feeling. You talk about her family and whatever, her husband, they ain't really family, whatever. Your family is the person who's come out of you. Barron came out of her. All these other children, right? All their other children,
right?
Our stepchildren or whatever.
Yeah.
It was very interesting how Barron was not there. Yeah. There was plenty of other grandchildren there.
But she also made it clear she wants to protect him, shield him from that. I think she has a very strong
shield him from Donald.
No, I didn't hear her say that.
Of course she didn't.
She had very strong opinions
mm-hmm.
about kind of shielding him and protecting him
mm-hmm.
from that world, right?
Sure.
There is a lot of hate and visceral feelings towards his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what he's seen? It makes a lot of sense to me that if you are a parent and feeling protective of your child, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to say, hey, I don't want to expose him to any of that. I want to be a mom. I want to be there when he comes home from school. This country has a history of the first ladies picking up a cause,
right,
and kind of making it their own. Michelle did it. Hillary, Barbara Bush, just go down the line. They do.
Yeah.
She opted not to do that. It's not required. She wanted to be a wife and a mother to their child, and that's fine. It's her choice. Some people want to pick, create some other, Michelle had her. She had her fitness. She had her wives of military folks, or military folks in general. It kind of goes on and on and on. So,
it does, and
but she didn't want to do it though.
Yeah, and she's got to be about the first lady that I can remember not being so involved within her husband's.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you.
It's crazy.
I don't remember a whole lot with Barbara Bush, but I'm not convinced to say she wasn't active in some cause, right. Although it just doesn't jump out at me.
I think that she is the most inactive first lady that we have ever seen, and I think that has to do. I know that has to do with her relationship with Donald Trump. That's it. That is it. Because any wife who's proud of their husband, they're going to be all up in there helping him be the very best president that he can be.
She could do a whole lot of stuff and not even have to be involved with her husband. And I'm not saying that she's avoiding him, but I'm saying I don't think that would be a reason to not. Right? She can take up any number of causes, put her name to it, work with it, and not even interact or be involved in the political side inside of the White House. So I disagree with you. So add that to the long list.
The long list of Yeah. Well, let's see if these name callings, which you probably said, it ain't never gonna stop. The China virus, crazy Pelosi calling the election fraud. We'll see if that ever stops, because he probably will never be a unifying president, but it is what it is.
Absolutely.